All right, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live to 90 countries right now, broadcasting remotely from Grit OCR, and we've got a special guest in the house right now. We got the boss lady herself, Malorie.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Malorie?
So, the thing that I'm excited about interviewing you, honestly, is like, so tell me how like Grit OCR is viewed in your mind, right? Like, cause like you're here, you're a part of it all the time. Like you helped grow it. I even heard that you like came up with the puzzle for it. So like you've sunk your like heart and soul into this too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean like this has become everything for our family. It's like that passion project that sets our soul on fire. And everything we do it together. My kids have been out here all day running around. I mean like we love it. The joy and like the fill up that you get from seeing everybody out here having a good time and pushing themselves is like second to none. Like there's nothing that does that. The OCR community is just fire all the way through, and it's like a big reunion. Like you can't be mad at that. It's phenomenal.
Right? Yeah, no, the community of people is just amazing. Like anytime I say Antonio or Malorie, it's like immediately everybody knows exactly who I'm talking about, and it's like you have this like magical connection with everybody here.
I mean, that's really sweet to say. Yeah, we're very fortunate that we have a lot of incredible friends and a lot of incredible like acquaintances that come out here and show up for us all the time. It's very humbling. Like you do this, you never really know, right? We're gonna build it. Are they gonna come? We don't know. But I mean, they show up year after year, and that will never cease to like blow my mind.
That's really the interesting part to me, and I talked Antonio's ears off earlier,
Yeah.
and I'd love to get your perspective. You know, earlier you mentioned family, and that's a word that I keep hearing out here, and it's not only a word that I hear, it's a sense that I feel, and I can see it. I see kids running around, I see they've got their dogs, and we talked about that earlier. And for you and Antonio and your family, you have a couple of kids, you said?
Yeah, we do. We have a 12-year-old who actually ran today with his football team, and then a 3-year-old who was here as well, but tapped out from the heat.
A 12 and a 3. You took a little break and said, we're doing this again.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And being a family and all of the time commitments, everything that goes on, what in the world were you guys thinking to try to create, as Antonio called it, this quote-unquote side project of Grit OCR?
Well, to be fair, when we did it the first time, we only had one kid.
Okay.
So that helped a little bit. But, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of like sitting over wine. I feel like he told you this. We make all of our best decisions over wine. I mean, as
right.
you do. And it was kind of like, this is what we want to do. Do we go for it? And we both agreed, like, you know, we're young. We could bounce back if it doesn't work. But let's give it all we got and full send it and see if it works. And we were really fortunate that it did. And we've been doing it for 6 years. And every year that we're able to do this is like a dream come true. But we bring our kids and our family into every aspect of it. Every single one of those volunteers out there, their family, they know that they could show up to our house any day for anything they needed, just as much as they show up for us here. I think the participants are family. Like I said, it's a big reunion, but it's a family reunion.
You really do feel that. I mean, I'm sitting here at the Murph Workout Radio Tent, and we're meeting so many people. I didn't participate.
Right.
Karina from our team, she did, but I just sense everything that they went through, and you can see the camaraderie. I mean, I see people from all different places that have met each other for the first time.
Yeah.
You know, I literally ran into somebody coming from the restroom area. We're all washing our hands, and it's like suddenly I'm in this awesome conversation that the DecaFit people, which is part of Spartan Race and everything. You know, you've got just such an incredible, just a body of participants here. How hard was it to grow this 6 years down the road, right?
6 years down the road. When we started off, me and Antonio were both racing all the time, like at least twice a month.
Yeah.
We were out there constantly. Gavin, our oldest in tow, just like out at all these different races. So we were out there, we were part of the community, we were very, very active in it. I think that helped. So when we said we were going to do something, people showed up and they came because they knew us, they knew what we were capable, they knew that we suffer right there with them. I think that that's important.
People are still showing up. For those listening, there's a group of us that have just surrounded the tent. Everybody's looking at Malorie over here going, what is going on at Murph Workout Radio?
Oh my God.
Yes, you can download for free and hear this interview online. So we appreciate you guys doing that. But back to family and all of that goes through. Now, most businesses, they say, don't last 5 years. If you can get to that 5-year mark. I mean, that's an incredible milestone. So first of all, congratulations on that. As you enter your next 5 years, I'll say, right, and keep going. What is new for you? What is on the horizon that you see for the future of Grit OCR?
I think for us, it would definitely be adding another venue. We love East Walker. This will always be home. I hope that it will forever be a part of our race.
Yeah.
But we want to expand. We want to be a race company, not just a race.
Right.
So to do that, we need to grow. I think that we're at that point now where the demand is there and the support is there, and I think that the next venue it's in the works. I feel really positive it's going to happen next year, and we're scoping it out. We have an idea in mind, and hopefully it's going to all come to fruition.
Nice. If you're hearing some wind noise in the background, it's because we finally got a breeze out here in the 80-degree heat of Santa Clarita. The tent's about to blow away, but we're still grounded. We're here talking with Malorie of Grit OCR, the incredible founders, sponsors of this race. We're hearing that a lot from people that they look forward to this race. In fact, it was brought up in our last interview. It's like, so it's like waiting for Christmas for when Grit OCR comes up at East Walker. As you grow and expand, are you thinking about spacing things? Oh, wow. Our tent is collapsing as we talk.
East Walker Ranch is ripping our tent apart as we speak. But we will broadcast like pirate radio till the last ship goes down, baby.
The captain goes down with the ship, literally, Captain Murphy over here.
We're all here.
That completely derailed whatever I was saying. But I think where I was going with it is, you've been out here at East Walker. Have you always had pretty much around the same date for when this race occurs?
No, we've actually played with it quite a bit.
Okay.
The first 2 years were in February, which was cool, but then we had a year where we got like insane amount of rains, kind of this year, except for the rain came on our build week.
Wow.
And that was just like, that was rough. Like, we actually had to carry obstacles up mountains because the trucks couldn't get through the mud.
Right.
And there was a lot of chaos that went into that. So then we were like, okay, let's pivot. And then we tried July. And then July in Santa Clarita is like 105 degrees.
Sure.
That was not the move. It will not be in July in the future.
First we flood them, then we melt their brains.
Exactly. We've had all of it. Like, we've hit every like range of like weather that we could so far. This year has been actually like phenomenal. It's a little hot, but like it's not detrimental.
As we're recording this year, we're 2023. It's the 6th year of Grit OCR. And again, out at East Walker Ranch, north of Los Angeles. We got some wind out here. It's warm. It's the end of April. We're just about to kick off May. And so as you think about, new locations and new dates, have you thought about, how will they be spaced out? Is everything going to happen at once and people will have to decide which one I go to, or?
No, nothing will happen at once. Selfishly on our part, we don't have the manpower for that. Like, we got to space that stuff out. We got a day job still that we got to make sure we focus on. They'll be spaced out. I think we're going to change things up a little bit next year. We're going to announce it pretty shortly after this race, once we take a breather and we recollect. But we have ideas. I think people are going to be surprised with how we do a few things next year. We like throwing the surprises. There was a lot of them today.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good.
Can you tell us about the volunteers? Have you had a lot of regulars from the beginning? How many new ones?
Yeah.
I keep hearing how much it grows, and that definitely takes manpower, right?
Yeah.
What is that force like for you guys, and how easy is it to find them and have everybody show up? And
it actually has been pretty easy. Our business partners have another race company, so
Antonio just swooped in for a kiss. There we go.
You gotta sneak them in.
That's what
it was
happens.
a kiss and run.
I know. See, that derailed my thought process now. I'm like, oh, where
took her breath away there, ladies
At least
and
we
gentlemen.
hope that
We'll
was
give you a moment to
Antonio.
regroup.
Terry and Jenny own New Global Adventures, which is another race company.
Right.
They had an incredible group of volunteers that are really loyal to them and show up for all of their races.
Right.
So we get a lot of volunteers for them. All of our friends are absolutely incredible, and they will come out here, build with us all week, be here all day today, and then come back tomorrow to break it down. They are incredible. For the volunteers, I don't care if I've known you for 10 years or I met you today, you are like the wheels that keep this thing going. And if we didn't have you, none of this would happen. The volunteers are everything.
We've noticed an incredible vibe. Everybody's just such good people out here.
Yeah.
That's a real testament to you guys.
Thank
Everybody
you.
knows both of your names. We talked about that a lot today. Tell us a little bit, when we're talking about it's New Global Adventures, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did that relationship start? How did you guys get together?
So I got into trail running, and
Okay.
I did Valencia Trail Race, which is a New Global Adventures race.
Okay.
Loved it. It was absolutely phenomenal. Kicked my ass. It was like pretty epic race.
Nice.
After that, we were starting to float around the Grit idea, and I don't know if Antonio's told you this, but when we started thinking about Grit, it originally was going to be like an obstacle course gym.
Yes.
So you could come in, you could play around, you could learn how to do certain things.
Yeah.
And then as we were diving into that, we were literally sitting with the lease on the kitchen table, about ready to sign, and both of us were just like, vibe check, this isn't it. So we didn't do it, right? We went with our gut, and then we pivoted, and we started talking to Terry and Jenny, and Antonio met them at Space Rock, which was another one of their races.
Got it.
And was like, hey, Jenny, let's do an OCR together. And she was like, yep, let's do it. And from there, it was like a match made in heaven.
How scary was the first race?
Oh my God, I don't think I slept for like 2 months prior to it. I was so scared that like no one would show up, or like things wouldn't work, or like did we have any idea what we were doing? Like, could we pull this off? It was scary. It's still kind of scary. Like now, I have a lot more, like I know people are gonna come and we know what we're capable of, but I mean still, to host an event this big is like, and I know like for Spartan Race and TM, it's like nothing, but for us it's a big deal, it's a big race. So it's like, it's scary still.
You've been incredibly generous. This is not a race that is out to capitalize on every vendor that comes through. I mean, you guys have just open arms. I mean, we have the big giants. You got C4. We've got the Navy here. We talked about this earlier. And then we got literally groundbreakers right next to us with Brute Seltzer, for example, that are just kicking off. They launched yesterday. Have you had their product?
It's so good.
I'm not even into seltzer water, and I was like, wow.
Oh my God, I'm like fully obsessed. Yeah. I'm gonna do whatever I can to tell everyone about that.
So, I mean, you know, clearly it takes money to run things. You have staff, there's people, there's bathrooms there, there's you know, first responders, you know,
city
looking out for
permits, yeah.
city permits. That's real easy in LA,
That's
right?
the big one, yeah.
So, with all that going on, how do you continue to grow? How do you continue to grow this race, and you know, keep this beautiful nation of Grit OCR crazy fans, you know, growing and growing year after year? How do you maintain that, especially when, you know, maybe you're not killing it with these massive corporate sponsorships to help along with, you know, being able to throw marketing dollars at, you know, big ad campaigns and stuff like that?
I think that we're smart about how we do things. We grow every year and we innovate, but we don't like just suddenly shoot for the stars, right? Like, we want to grow carefully and methodically so that we don't all of a sudden overextend ourselves and we can't make the mark. And I think that we've done really well with that. We've never had a year where we were like, oh shoot, like we can't float this or anything like that. We've been very, very fortunate.
Yeah.
But I think that it's smart that like you don't jump out of a plane without a parachute.
Sure.
Like, you gotta grow in a way that makes sense for you. Like jumping into like 1 race to 10 races isn't gonna work for us. We know that, y'all know that. So we're gonna just grow at our own pace. And for us, that's working. I think for the participants, it's working.
I'm guessing year number 1 had to still be the scariest, right?
Absolutely.
What's it like on the inside when you're going, gosh, did anybody sign up? I mean, how does that work? Do you get emailed, or you just see your, you know, do you see an entry show up in your bank account?
So we get like a pulse email like every single time somebody registers.
Okay.
And then we started this thing on the first year where like we would get one. Literally, we opened registration. The 4 of us were at dinner.
Yeah.
And we got the first few, and we would just be like, another one. Even to this day, 6 years later, we get one, and me and Antonio will text each other and be like, another one. Like 800 times this year. Like,
that's got to be a beautiful thing.
It's still so exciting every single time anyone signs up for this race.
That's amazing. So let me ask you also, so outside of here, I know you got a family.
Yeah.
Chasing the little ones around, and Antonio mentioned he's doing some specialized construction work and that type of thing.
Home
so
automation.
Outside of here, what keeps you busy?
I mean, I work for Michael's company, which is Antonio's other company.
Okay.
I get to invoice all of our clients for that, so that's kind of fun. So like my regular gig is like at my computer.
Right on.
This is like a great change of pace for me.
You don't look, your physique doesn't say I sit at the computer all day. Clearly, so what is the workout routine in your household?
For us, it's really different. I kind of took a step back from like the heavy lifting CrossFit thing when I had my youngest. Now it's a lot of like running. I just did the LA Marathon. I'm trying to get back into that.
Oh, wow.
I had like a hiatus after having Hendrix. So like, you know, I mean, like we do, every day we do something. I try to just move every single day. Antonio moves every single day. We raise our children that way. I think that's what keeps you fit and healthy and young.
Well, it's very clear. I mean, both of you together are like the poster children for like the fit family, which is inspiring
I'm
for me.
To keep up with him. He's like ridiculous.
It makes me feel like I need to get off my couch a little bit more. So I appreciate that.
Maybe next year you guys can run this with like a mic in hand.
I think, you know, we've talked about some of that.
Mobile broadcast backpack. I could totally do that. I can design that for sure.
You know,
I feel like there'd be like a lot of grunting, right? Like you're going over the wall and it would just be like, oh.
there was a little bit of.
I know, it'd be funny.
There was a little bit of scandal this year.
Okay.
And there's a lot of buzz going on about this particular scandal.
Okay.
There was some fraud, some deceit that happened.
Good job, Grit OCR finishers. You guys are crushing it out there on this beautiful day. Tackling on that quad bank course. Be sure to get some ice cold water, some fruit, some watermelon, some oranges.
There goes the buildup.
It really is a beautiful day, though.
And then your timing chip around your ankle is your free beer ticket in the beer garden. Also, if you want, we have a mobile IV hydration here. Get that, you'll be hydrated.
This job's tougher than it looks, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
so if you're just joining us, this is Murph Workout Radio. We have the great honor of sitting with Malorie, one of the co-founders of Grit OCR in beautiful East Walker Ranch, Santa Clarita, California. The breeze is blowing, barely a cloud in the sky. It's incredible weather, and we're touching on a subject, a very sensitive subject, the scandal that has rocked Grit OCR 2023.
Right.
The deceit that occurred when all of the participants felt like they were finishing. But no, it was not actually the finish line. Can you answer to that? The people want to know. What possessed you? Whose idea was that? How did it come about?
it was Antonio's idea, just to mix things up. I mean, we always try to mix things up, but like...
People have been calling him a jerk a lot.
You know what, that's fine.
Everybody
That's
seems to
cool.
love you, but...
I think he'll take that with like, like pride, you know?
Oh, he smiled. He smiled when we called him a jerk. He was like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
I think, okay, so I never understood this in OCR. Like, I was never one of those people that, like, sat at home on a Thursday and was like, where's my course map? Like,
right.
To me, I'm like, I gotta do it anyway, so I don't really care what order it's
Sure.
in, you know? So, like, this time we were out here, we were kind of making changes on the fly, and we wanted to do certain things, and we were like, no, we like it here better. And we like that we're able to do that.
Yeah.
And so we thought about it. I didn't want to release the puzzle. I didn't want people to know there was a puzzle. One, because I didn't want to hear the complaining, and two, I wanted them to be like, "What am I doing here?" Like,
we
why
heard a
is
lot
there
about the puzzle. Yes, that was your brainchild, right?
I really just wanted a puzzle. I thought it'd be funny if you had to like do something mental when you're exhausted physically.
So
and it was pretty funny because I was up there for the first hour, and it
you
was,
think you're in an
good.
obstacle course race, but no, Malorie has put you in an escape room, and there's no escape unless you finish the puzzle. Is that right?
And you had to go under a crawl to the puzzle.
Oh, good lord!
And there's no room to escape from. It's a desert that's 80 degrees through the mountains.
We'd like to again thank our first responders being on site and ready to rescue those that couldn't make it through the puzzle. But can you talk us through this false finish? Because to me that's just such a head trip. It cracked me up when I heard about it. But people really thought this was the end of the race, but no.
Yeah.
Like, can you walk me through that? Like, what?
Okay, so last year this was the end of the race.
Okay.
So you would actually do that same loop, but you did it from the top of the hill.
Okay.
And it worked. It was like sufficient with sandbag carry. It was a long sandbag carry.
Yeah.
But it also added to our aid stations up there getting hit at a whole bunch of different angles constantly all day, which was really like chaotic. There was a lot of stuff on the road happening that was chaotic. And we didn't like that. So we always want things to move a lot more smooth.
Right.
So that was part of it. And then, you know, everybody's gotten used to doing the ruck on the claw sides. We're like, what would happen if we did it on both sides?
Right.
So everyone got to do the ruck, which was cool. There was just like, we weighed it out, and it was like there was a lot more pros than there were cons, right? So we roll with it. If people hate it, then like, you know, we pivot next year. But I think it worked. I liked it.
So if I'm the participant and I didn't get to run it this year, I really want to do this next year for sure. Got to talk to Murph about that. But anyway,
For sure.
I'm manning the mic this time. But I'm in the race. I see that finish line.
Yeah.
Am I holding? What am I holding at that point, or am I just running at the first finish line at the false finish?
So you're running down these switchbacks over here
Okay.
on this like hillside, and you can see the finish line, but you don't actually come into it until you actually go right first. You do the ruck area,
Okay.
and then you come out to the finish line. So I mean, you see it, but it's not like you're right there. Like
Got it.
you would have to really know where you were going if you were gonna like cheat and just go to the finish line.
You see it, and then the trail comes to a head, and then it makes a right and goes back up the mountain.
Oh, good
Exactly.
Lord.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
And
so
it's a mountain.
optical illusion
Yeah.
in full effect right there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you're
know,
a sick
'cause
individual, but we sort of like that about you and Antonio. So whoops,
Our
there goes
tent
the
is
banner.
literally falling apart while we broadcast.
There goes the Murph Workout Radio banner.
Yeah,
It's
that's
literally the
exposed.
last scene of Pirate Radio where the
Yeah.
ship's going down. It's
We're gonna
literally what's
burn
happening
this
right
when it's
now.
all done. It's gonna be a join us with a bonfire. So we're super excited as well. I don't know if you know this, but we just launched, I should say relaunched our Apple app. So that's available in the App Store if you're an
Awesome.
iPhone user. If you are an Android user, we love you too. Go check us out on Google Play. It's Murph Workout Radio. If you're listening and don't see our logo, it's MURPH, Murph Workout Radio. It's the best, most amazing music. In fact, it's playing all day long out here in beautiful Santa Clarita during Grit OCR. It's a special blend of not only the best workout music, but motivational quotes, movie quotes, all mixed in throughout to help keep you going and keep your mental game focused on point. So we appreciate you downloading the app. Again, it's free. Unless you want to pay, we do have the pro version. Kick us a few bucks a month for that. It's well worth it. If you don't like it, it's easy to cancel. We won't hold that against you. You can continue to be a part of Murph Workout Nation on the free version of the app. But I gotta bring it back home here. Malorie, you've heard the music all day long. A lot of people are really focused on other things going on,
Yeah.
right? But what did you think of the music? Have you ever noticed, or have you been so busy so far?
Oh no, I totally noticed it. Anytime I had like a breather, a second, I was like dancing in the corner over there. I'm like handing people shirts. So it's like,
I
okay,
got
let's
it.
go. Yeah.
I was telling Murph, I was like, you know what? I'm missing a video camera because I see people dancing out here. We should have this. We need to be better at social
I know.
media.
I mean, like it's a vibe. You gotta have the vibe. You guys nailed it. It's been great.
Thank you so much. It's really
course.
important to us to really try to capture not just music, but also that feeling of community within our radio.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we do that with the spots, but we also try to bring our own personal flavor. When Murph gets on the air, I'm there, and occasional our DJ guests and so on that we have popping in as we grow.
Yeah.
We want that sense of humor to be there, and we hope that everybody enjoys it. And this type of event was just such a natural dovetail. We just want to thank you guys for allowing us to be here, kind of like a co-sponsor. We got the tent
Yeah.
out here. Do you have any special words, or special shout-outs for, or anything else that you'd like to say? I feel like we've learned so much about you so far.
I mean, I would just say thank you to everyone who's here. Thank you for everyone who's done this race. If you haven't done it, get off the couch. Come
That's
have
right.
fun with us, okay? Like, it's not that scary. You can do it.
And where
You're gonna
can they
love
find
yourself
you?
For it.
Where can they find you if they want to?
You can find us on social media. We're at Grit OCR. You can find us on gritocr.com. You could hit up me and Antonio on Instagram. Like, our stuff's public so that you can hit us up on Instagram. We love talking to you all.
We love it too. Well, we are also friends on the social media.
Yep.
And we thank you for following us back. That's super awesome.
Of course.
And thank you again for everything you've done here for Grit OCR. We're looking so forward to what the future has to offer, and we're still enjoying the rest of this weekend. So, and by the way, if you're listening tonight as this goes out and broadcast or rebroadcast, there's still time to sign up. You can get in, come join the fun, and be prepared for next year. So, do that right now. Murph Workout Radio. Thanks again, Malorie.
Thank you so much.